Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. It is Monday morning, February 20th. It is President's Day. I'm Scott Engen, Bethany and Newquist joining me this morning. Lisa is off today. Jared, are you going to join us for weather, or are you busy?
Yeah.
Cool. Jared will be right over here. So before we get Jared over here to tell us about snow coming in today, we want to remind you that you can watch this Facebook Live every morning on your feed between 8 and 9 o'clock. Also, you can check it out on that InForum YouTube channel. Just search for us in the search bar. Also, you can find it on your favorite podcast platform. Just go to inforum.com/podcast and look for the InForum Minute. And just on cue, here is Jared.
Hello. With the orange mug.
Gotta have the orange mug. That's the best part. I mean, we like you too, but the orange mug is nice to see. So, of course, we talked a lot about weather this morning. Tell us kind of what's going on with incoming snow and snowfall throughout the day.
Yeah, I kind of seen this week as being kind of annoying. So we're going to have 3 different snowfalls that we're tracking. The one today, some of us are already done with the snow. So what you remove here is like, all right, done for the day. But there's more snow moving into northeastern North Dakota, northern tier Minnesota as we head throughout the day. So it may pick up a little bit. And then the wind's going to pick up this afternoon. So we're going to have some minor blowing and drifting snow later on for that drive home. So in town, probably won't notice it as much, but if you drive from town to town and you get in those open areas, then that's where you'll see a little bit more of that.
Blowing across the road, or the sea, that kind of thing.
Then I think tomorrow morning's commutes are right. But then by, let's just say sometime late morning, midday, we're going to get another round of snow, which we might pick up another 1-2 inches there. So it's kind of those nuisance snows is getting annoying. So we got today, tomorrow, and then a bigger snowstorm is set to move through South Dakota, Minnesota, and I think we'll be just north of that, but we're going to still see some snow most likely, but the heavy snow will stay in South Dakota, southern Minnesota, the way it's shaping up. So that'll be late Wednesday into Thursday, but we'll likely still have some wind and travel will be difficult for us here and just travel around the region. So just more impacts in South Dakota, southern Minnesota. So we'll be kind of dodging that. But I said it's an annoying week because then we're just going to be on the north side of these systems. So it's going to be cold here. So today's probably our warmest day of the work week, and we may hit 20, 21 degrees.
Okay.
But yeah, then cold. Plan on being cold all the way through Saturday morning.
Darn. So busy week for you guys in the weather department.
It is. So we're going to be staying on top of those. And we're going to watch that, especially that system that's going to move by Wednesday and Thursday for the region. Because if it lifts farther northward, then we'll have more impacts there. But hopefully it'll trend farther to the south. They can have it.
We can avoid it up here. That'd be nice. So. All right. Anything else important?
I don't think so. Next week is looking a little bit warmer, like some 20s returning. So just brace yourself for cold weather the rest of the work week.
Alrighty, sounds good, Jared. Thank you, appreciate it. And of course, all week long, we're going to be tracking those road conditions for you in the morning for your commute home, and obviously your morning commute as well. So just keep tabs on that. You can download the Storm Tracker weather app too to stay on top of all the closures, all of the weather updates, all the road conditions. So let's dive into some of our other local headlines this morning. You want to tell us about President's Day?
Yes, hope you have your day off from work or school today. That'd be awesome. Remember that city and county offices are closed today because of the holiday, and also your trash route might be impacted by the holidays, so double check before you take it to the curb.
Yeah, good call. We know, we ran it this morning. Several routes, like they usually are on holidays, impacted by that, so just double check. Good idea, Bethany. Appreciate it. All right. Right now, we are also still working to learn more about a fire on I-94 that held up traffic for quite a while and did extensive damage to a camper and a pickup truck. We had some really interesting video of it this morning that showed the devastation. The camper completely cooked, if you will, and the truck charred as well. I mean, geez Louise, is bad damage. But also, it all happened around 12:30 yesterday afternoon along the side of I-94, which is near the Evansville exit, roughly 20 miles east of the Fergus Falls area. It backed up the interstate traffic in the westbound lanes. You could see black smoke towering into the sky like a mushroom plume. We did reach out to the State Patrol for more information. We are hearing, thankfully, nobody was hurt as far as we know, which is great, but we are still working to find out exactly what may have started that fire.
Definitely. And then new this morning, we now have more information on a police chase that went across state lines. We know one person was arrested after the chase ended in a crash in Moorhead. We talked to Fargo police, and they told us that the officer saw a U-Haul truck that was reported stolen, and that was on the 2100 block on Main Avenue in Fargo. The officer tried to make a traffic stop, but the truck took off, and later it was spotted on I-94 heading east to Moorhead. And then the Minnesota State Patrol found the truck and they were able to make arrest after the driver crashed the U-Haul. So yeah, this morning we were putting calls out, and we're trying to find out who was arrested.
Yeah, we'll have an update whenever we get that information. All right, statewide, downsizing is becoming more of a common issue for nursing homes in North Dakota, and staffing shortages of almost all facilities in the state feeling the need for help right now. 90% of long-term facilities in North Dakota are now relying on contract nurses to meet their needs, losing about 15% of their regular staff during the pandemic. And turnover rates for those nurses are also climbing. Registered nurses are turning over at a 43% rate, nursing assistants even higher at a 66% rate. North Dakota is looking to legislation to try and combat the issue with hopes of increasing pay and benefits to help retain those nurses on a long-term basis.
The Minnesota DNR is trying to better evaluate the health of the state's lakes, and data collected about the overall health of Minnesota lakes is being used to score them. Health scores for nearly 3,000 lakes are available from Minnesota's Department of Natural Resources. The department hopes that by sharing these scores, it will help people make better decisions about activities that affect lake health. And the department believes it will help inform local landowners and lawmakers, helping them to take ownership of land future development.
All right, kind of a cool story from University of North Dakota. Researchers at UND, the College of Engineering and Mines, they're gearing up for a new project that sounds pretty exciting. They're going to be teaming up with Purdue University after UND was awarded $750,000 to study the potential impacts of ice crystals on hypersonic vehicle travel. Sounds way above my head. So hopefully they're smarter than me.
Right.
But that includes vehicles like spacecrafts that are re-entering the atmosphere, military-grade jets, things that go very fast and go very high in the sky. So this is kind of where Purdue comes into play with the whole thing. They have special hypersonic flow environments that are going to allow UND to study the effects on its campus. Grants to study these impacts will run out in 2026, but both schools are already discussing plans to study the impacts long-term.
Those are some big plans. So, national news. President Joe Biden is set to mark the one-year anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine this week with a high-stakes trip to Poland amid new U.S. warnings to China. The U.S. Secretary of State telling China not to provide any lethal military support to Russia for their war, saying it will result in serious consequences for U.S.-China relations. We'll be following the president's trip all week.
Yeah, should be some big headlines that come out of that, so we'll see what happens. All right, Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg is demanding accountability from Norfolk Southern, the railroad company that is involved in that major train derailment that happened in East Palestine, Ohio. Buttigieg has sent a letter to the company's CEO demanding and urging them to do more to respond to the community members that are in need right now. Many that live there say they've gotten sick since that derailment more than 2 weeks ago now. Buttigieg also accused the railroad and other major carriers of lobbying Congress to undermine federal safety regulations. A dozen of the cars that derailed contained hazardous materials, and people in East Palestine have complained of headaches, rashes, and nausea since this all occurred.
And then new this morning, 5 people were shot while attending the, how do you say that?
The Bacchus Parade.
Bacchus,
Yes.
Thank you, Bacchus Parade. I just heard about that today, so this is new to me as well.
Yeah, it's something new overnight, I think.
Yes. Police say one of the victims has since died. 3 others and a child are being treated at a local hospital. Police say 1 person has been arrested and 2 guns were found at the scene. The police chief says it is not clear what led to the shooting. And this is in New Orleans.
Yeah, and it's part of the Mardi Gras celebration, essentially, Bacchus Parade. So obviously a sad way to start off what's usually a fun festivity.
Unfortunately.
All right. Dom Izzo has Hot Mic, of course, every weekday morning from 9 to 11 on WDAY Extra and InForum.com. This morning we ran a little story on the Daytona 500 that happened over the weekend. I think the NBA All-Star game and dunk contest and all those festivities happened over the weekend too, so I'm sure he'll be talking about that. I don't know if he'll have any guests on specifically related to those events, but he does always have great guests on, so make sure you tune in to that from 9 to 11 in the morning.
Awesome. And then, should I say it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember to join us for our evening newscasts. We have you covered starting at 4, and then we have one at 5, 6, 9, and 10. And then every weekend morning from 5 to 7. Join us for First News. I will be anchoring. And then join us for more news throughout the day on InForum.com.
Yeah, and right now over on InForum.com, you can get a great deal for your first 3 months. It's only going to cost you 99 cents to get an all-access pass to all those great stories. That includes local headlines, national headlines, local sports, and of course, all that important weather information that you need to know on a week like this.
Yes.
So thanks for joining us. Stay safe on your commute. Enjoy your President's Day, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.